Well, hello my dear companions, welcome back to Doki Doki Summertime. So many of you wanted me to return to this, and of course we're gonna return to it. I just have so many different series ongoing on the channel right now, so sometimes it takes some time to get back to them, because some of them I want to finish up. But we are on the part 3 of the Yuri route, and I just realized what this line is from. As you might know, there are so many references and Easter eggs from this in this mod that we have seen before. It's Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. It's one of the lyrics or lines, if you say so, from the Friday song by Rebecca March or Rebecca Black. Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. You know, you might have heard it. Everyone have pretty much heard it. I just realized. Anyhow, we're gonna go to the third date and back to Yuri. Here we go. I wouldn't go as far as to say I'm not looking forward to anything, but up until a week ago, most of the days seemed like a blur. Often I wasn't even sure what day of the week it is. And many of the things are similar, so I might go a bit fast in some areas, and if you don't like that, watch this series from the very beginning, because I go very slow in the first route, the Monica route, but things are literally the same in many of the parts. But I'm glad Sayori introduced me to her friends. I'm not invested enough in literature to join their club, but with all the new things that happened, who knows what else the summer will bring. Oh, we kinda know. There's definitely a kind of connection between me and Sayori. And as you know, we have to choose another girl for the second date, other than the girl we have for the route. And we chose Sayori for the second date, and I kind of feel bad for... We're gonna break her heart. Oh boy. Yeah, Yuri and I had a great time together. Not rocket scientists, but these both sound pretty promising. Yes. However it goes, it will only go forward if I actually reach out and take the opportunity with my own hands. Yes, that's a life lesson for you. After all, doing nothing didn't get me too far, I feel. With that, I embark on my journey to the ice cream shop. Yes, we're gonna go to the ice cream shop, yes. Hopefully Yuri will be here too. I remember all the all you see on the menu here. Coldest summer Sunday. I get the reference there. And look at the snacks there. You're in an ice cream shop. The snacks are to the right. There's so many hidden references and just Easter eggs, if you say so. As I arrive, I recognize two of the girls.
I'm telling you, they're literally retelling the same story over and over again.
With each of them giving their own take on how things would happen, correct?
You wish. Most of them are literally just trying to force a sappy ending onto a story that is meant to be unpredictable and sad.
Hey, mind if I join? Oh, welcome back, Salsa. I'm glad you could make it.
Yeah, hi. So where was I?
Have you seen Sayori and Monica? Monica is bound to appear at any moment, since she's the least likely of all of us to disappear without a good reason.
So just look around you. You think Sayori would miss out on this? Brand new ice cream shop and hang out with her best friends? Guess you wouldn't know her well enough.
You don't want her. Oh, she's so adorable.
You should have seen her at the school festival. Now that she mentions it.
Oh, wrong voice. It's so hard to switch between the voices. Sorry about that sometimes. Just need some water to clear my throat. Good to go. Now that she mentioned it, I didn't see her at the festival all day. I doubt she was avoiding me. We probably just visited the stands at different times. What do you mean?
We barely finished our performance. First thing on her mind was, can we go to the cafe now?
I remember there being a sort of cafe in one of the classrooms. They served several drinks and snacks. The chocolate cakes were delicious and I even bought an extra one to take home. As I'm recording all the stands in my mind, Natsuki kept going on about their experience at the festival.
I got the plushy tiger hat.
Sounds really cute.
At this moment, I knew I messed up.
I'm not cute.
Speaking of cute, Sayori arrives with her neon green bird plushie tucked on her left arm. If she was wearing her pajamas, I'd swear she just fell out of her bed. Her wide smile is radiating with joy and she waves at us immediately after noticing us. She puts down Mr. Bird next to her as she takes her seat.
Hey everybody. Seriously, you brought the plushie? Way to boost the atmosphere. What do you mean? Plushie, ice cream, you. Can we add anything to make it more kid-friendly? Cupcakes with kitten face.
I guess she's right.
Anyway, why are you late, Sayori? I need to take you talk to you about oversleeping again.
Natsuki imitates cracking her knuckles, but in a playful manner.
Well, I was all set to leave home, then I accidentally...
She mutters something under her nose, but with a sneaky smile curving on her face.
Accidentally what? The whole thing?
Sayori, could you clarify what it is you accidentally did?
Well, I was just holding it in my hand and then I...
Hello and welcome to Stone Cold Steve's. What can I get you? You remember this?
Ice cream!
We both look behind us and see the one greeting us in all too familiar person. Is an all too familiar person. You remember? You remember who it is? Boom. You thought it was a waitress, but it was me, Monica. Oh, she's adorable. Hey Monica, if you're the waitress... Not getting a joke is one thing, but taking it seriously is on a whole new level. I said it before, but I often do this. I don't get the jokes and I take them seriously, and it gets so awkward. I have one request. Please, can you make Natsuki read a real book for once? She got the joke. Damn, she was hiding her power level.
Shut up! Ugh, even your jokes sound like a quote from some novel.
You don't like to read books, Natsuki?
Of course I do. Well, a few, and I just don't read them super seriously. Unlike some people here. Yuri only wants one thing, and it's freaking disgusting.
Disgusting. You know that line too? It's from a meme. Guys only want one thing, and that's freaking disgusting. Yeah, that's from a meme, and this mod is amazing. This mod is amazing. I concur, Natsuki. As I just demonstrated, I'm fond of the occasional, how you say, banter.
Whatever you say, Princess of Darkness.
I actually like that. Of course she does. Nothing. Didn't you want to continue the topic for a minute ago?
Oh yeah. What was the topic?
We were dissecting the various aspects of stories written by hobbyists we read on the internet.
Yep. No, I'm not crazy about the good grammar, but are some people really this bad at it?
Some people can't help it, Natsuki.
Like you never heard of proofreading?
Monica looks away and lightly shrugs her shoulders. I wouldn't want to start an argument about grammar either. Come on. Regrettably, I have to agree. Publishing a work of such low quality tells more about the writer herself or himself than the character in the story.
So yeah, I could look past that. And there's stuff that just doesn't make sense. The character says some sad stuff and she's grinning like a carved pumpkin lantern. Or when somebody literally says a sigh. How hard is it to write sigh, she sighs, etc.?
That is quite the amateur mistake. these characters, so I just love them. Even if I have played the route 2 times earlier, it's so good. If I may add, I read horror iterations of that one specific story they make inordinate variations of, and apologies in advance, but there's a fine line between horror and a parody. Throwing in cheap scares just for the sake of it is even worse than not having them at all. It's like trying to build an atmosphere by haphazardly painting a room red halfway and filling it with an extremely strong musty smell. The only way that is scary is if you prepaid for renovating that room. Yuri is so savage, I love it. I'm sorry, I'm finished.
I don't get what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. Sigh. Oh. If jokes were airplanes, this place would be an airport. Of course. Come on, girls, it's not like any of us had a great deal of success when we tried crafting our first stories. Just remember when we started sharing poems.
I love reading everyone's poems. Wish mine was as good.
Sayori, you're doing it again.
Eh.
Monika shoots Sayori's knowing smile. It took her a couple of seconds to reciprocate, like waiting for a ball that is passed to her. Even your first one was decent at least. You talked about your poems in the club? Yep. Even offered writing tips each meeting. I actually wrote one myself.
What? Salsar's own poem?
Would you mind sharing it with us? That is, if it's not too much to ask for.
Yes, please. I want a good laugh.
Freaking Natsuki.
Natsuki?
Oh, wrong voice. Natsuki? We won't laugh at it, I promise. Can you show it to us? Yeah, you remember we showed it to them before? Yeah, and they are super excited. They're gonna try it. Here we go. Put my hands in my jeans and pull it out. Here it is. First take it to Monika. Then Sayori. Then Yuri. What's so funny? Salsa, is this the poem you wrote? I don't know how to break it to you.
Salsa poems aren't just words we like. Is that what they wrote?
Put my poem back in my pocket. Wow. Wow. That's enough, Natsuki. Let's not demonize Salsa so quickly. It could be a misunderstood creative genius. That's true. There have been so many geniuses in history that they've been treated so badly because they, were misunderstood.
What's that, Yuri? Did you pick your favorite words?
Oh, we did. Anyway, why don't we go and buy ice cream now?
Ice cream!
So Yuri, please don't scream next to my ear.
Sorry, Yuri.
Sayori whispers with a playful expression on her face.
Ice cream!
We walk over to the display and browse the huge selection of ice cream flavors. Yuri glances over all of them, including the extra one can get, and talks to the shopkeeper with a clear idea in her mind of what she desires. Natsuki and Monika are still browsing. Monika's conflicted between 2 variants of coffee-based flavor. Yeah, we know about that. And Natsuki's eyeing the prices of the cheaper. Yeah. Oh boy. I like that these kind of mods can be put together, as we saw in the Exit Music mod we played before this. We can kind of incorporate that backstory for Natsuki here too. It kind of works. But oh boy, that mod though. Check it out if you haven't already. Meanwhile, now Sayori is like a little kid in a candy shop and saying her thoughts out loud about which one she had the longest time ago. Debating with herself if she should listen to her tummy or her mind. Her tummy's gonna win, for sure. As I'm about to pay my order, Monika slides? I guess it was supposed to say slides. Up behind me and talks to me in a hushed voice. How about you get the tab for all of us, Salsa? Yeah, how about, no. Let's just chuckle out. Not today, Monica. Does she think I won the lottery? Yeah, we can't really pay for all of them. After we all placed our orders, Monica didn't take any ice cream. On a diet, Monica? To the contrary, I'm having a cheat day. I'm not supposed to cheat, I know, but I think just a bit of guilty pleasure wouldn't hurt any of us this time. Sometimes, you know, she might talk about the game, you know, breaking the fourth wall. It kind of feels like that, and today she's not gonna cheat. Started down munching. Was a little bit off. Yeah. Brain freeze. Yeah. What's wrong, Sayori? Brain freeze. Yeah, don't rush ice cream. That's a bad idea. Zalzal style. The best style. Even if the ice cream tastes worse with a joke like that, yeah. Your order. Here comes Monica's. It's huge. That's what she said. Everyone is intrigued by the icy masterpiece, and Monica gives a detailed list of its contents. Covered in almonds, chocolate syrup, caramel, 5 different flavors of ice cream, 2 of them which are coffee-based, whipped cream, and of course the cherry. Damn. Takes the cherry with one elegant motion and pops it into her mouth. Certain thoughts pop into my mind, and at the same time, yeah, she popped the cherry. This game. Natsuki and Sayori is already finished. Monica is even a third of the way. Natsuki, do you like any of these flavors?
Yeah, why?
Sharing is caring.
Huh?
Come on, grab a spoon and we can share it. Yeah, she ordered way too much. Yuri and Sasoura are starting to chat, and Monica and Natsuki are eating the ice cream. Okay, everyone. I'm full. Yeah. Just came out, yeah. We're gonna play that again. The acronym game, here we go.
Again? Yes, it was so much fun on Monday.
How about you, Yuri? It was rather enjoyable last time we played, so I'll take part. I'm not that stoked about making guesses this time, but I'll help you out by announcing the acronym and keeping track of the score. Elsa? Let's get started. Oh, we're gonna just save. There we go. Yeah, and this was weird, because now we can't pick Natsuki for some reason, you see? It's only between Sayori and Yuri. Not safe for work, I guess that's Yuri. Yes. Oscar Zero's officer, outpost cross X-ray outputs. I don't know which one, maybe X-ray? Yes. Burial grounds, that's Yuri for sure. John Kennedy. Yeah, that's Yuri. Piece of water, prisoner of war, that's Yuri. She likes the dark things, you know. Too much information, yeah, murder, boom. Hazardous mattress, material, Yuri. Literature, Yuri, boom. Paranoid neighborhood guide, Yuri. Mosquito in action, missing in action. Missing in action, Yuri, boom. Boom, boom. 10 out of 10, Yuri. And the game concludes and Monica announces, yeah, you see, Yuri's happy. Just by her lively expression, Yuri definitely enjoyed the game. It's like on Monday, she became more and more enthralled as I made my guesses. Strong hint of curiosity in her eyes today. That was fantastic. Thank you for the opportunity. Sayori seems like she was kind of bored when we finished. Yeah. Oh. get upset because you didn't win the game. It's not like this game determines anything important. Oh, it does. It does, for sure. Can I ask you something, Monica? Oh, of course you can. How did you come up with this game? I expected the question to come up. You see, we needed a game in which choices would be awarded with a point in every round. This way, the player is bound to get at least some points. With these points, the player can have multiple outcomes, and none of them are losing. Aren't the votes supposed to decide who wins? Oops, you're right. Those votes could make a difference. Speaking of the acronym game, did you know FOMO actually stands for fear of missing out? Oh, it does? I didn't know. I was familiar with that one. I think that was a new line. I don't think I've seen this before in the other routes. So all small changes, and of course we have a main girl for each route, and this time it's Yuri. And the last route will be for the Natsuki route. The four girls get into conversation about literature. Can't really complain about feeling excluded since Monica originally came up with the game for that purpose. Random thoughts start to cloud my mind as I space out for however long. I've already lost track of time when I suddenly heard the girls laughing about something. I decided to listen in with the hopes of actually being able to contribute to a few meaningful comments. It's kind of like the story behind the story you are reading. You mean like the stuff people do behind the scenes? No, Salsa. We were talking about how a well-crafted story tells you more than what can be seen on the surface. Yeah, we've seen this before. Reading between the lines, so to say. Silence is golden in another saying, yeah. Would you like to explain it, Yuri? Yuri? Oh, sorry. I was weighing my options on what I could read tomorrow. Would you mind repeating your question? It's okay. Would you like to explain what we mean by the story behind the story? With pleasure. It's a set of inter-character dynamics, rules of the world, for example magic, implied or stated messages of the author and possible events. What people call backstory is not the same, but rather a part of it. Creating such a story behind the story, in other words, a meta-story, can be an encumbering task, but it gives guidelines for the author. By establishing the rules of a world, the reader can be led to have a set of expectations, which can be ultimately shattered as the world in question is revealed to be a far cry from what it appeared to be. Yeah, she is talking and talking. Sorry, I got a bit carried away there.
Wonder when you're going to drop this habit.
Of rambling on?
Saying sorry all the time.
So... Announcement. What kind of announcement? Invitation. Nice pool place. We're available on Sunday. That's going to be the last episode for this route. Yeah. Usually I make these routes in 4 episodes. I think it's fitting. How does that sound? How does that sound?
Pool party? Woohoo! Well, you know, if I can make it, I'll be there.
I suppose it would be practical for getting the necessary dosage of vitamin D. Salsa? Sorry for always asking you last. I can only promise 2 things. I'll be there, and I won't drown. Don't sell yourself short. What do you say? Shall we take this meeting somewhere else?
About that.
Did you have something else in mind, Sayori?
Yeah, I wanted to go shopping for clothes.
Discussing literature is out of my comfort zone. The clothes shopping isn't even visible from within that zone. We could go with you, right, girls?
Shopping, Monica? Really?
Monica looks over to me, but I doubt it's because she needs my advice. She turns back to Sayori after a few seconds and what I assume to be thinking. Would it be okay with you if you went without us?
was hoping Zelsa would come with me.
We did this in her route. You've already had your happy ending, come on. Salsar, there's no way I'm going to watch you browse clothes for hours.
That's mean, Sasoura.
Really not in the mood for it. Cheer up, Sayori. In the other route, I think we went with her for the third date, but yeah, the second date for her, yeah. Maybe another week. Another route. I know what you mean, Monica. Until then, let's focus on those happy thoughts. The happy thoughts? That is a reference to Sayori's well-being, if you say so.
Fine. Guess I'll just leave then.
I mean, we knew this would happen. We have to pick all the girls for the second date, so each girl will have a happy ending and each girl will have a sad ending, and oh boy. They barely have the chance to say goodbye. Oh. I think I saw her smile turn to a frown for a split second. Oh boy, she's not gonna be there on Sunday. This is this lovely cafe I thought of going to. We could say that's my spot. I have some fond memories of that place.
That sounds awesome. How about you, Salsar?
How about you, Salsa? It's hard to say to not such a sweet smile. Let me show you. I stand up and walk over to the entrance. I'm holding it open and gesture to the girls with a smile on my face. Aren't we gonna go with Yuri? They actually like this. So we're all going there. I thought we were gonna have like one-on-one time with Yuri though. Went with the public transport and I sat next to Yuri. She was a bit surprised by me asking if I could sit next to her, but enthusiastically agreed nonetheless. We didn't talk during our journey, but I had the chance to see her from up close while she was looking out the window. This reminds me of the time when she sat across the table. Her silence raises my attention and her beauty. Someone's tapping on my shoulder. We've reached our destination. It's just a stone's throw away now. Oh, so we're all gonna go here? Okay. Hold the door open, the girls enter. As she enters the doorway, Monica looks me in the eye. What a gentleman. Natsuki stops in her tracks, starts looking around.
Whoa, Monica, this place is awesome. How did you find it?
I was just walking around and wanted a cup of coffee. This was the first cafe I saw and instantly fell in love with it.
No kidding, it's really fancy. If their goods are just as good, it's perfect fit for you.
You'll see. Come on, let's order something. I'm sure you'll love their selection. So we're gonna go on like both ice cream and the cafe. Okay. Song though. Decorations and furniture are really top notch. That gives me the impression that this shop is. We approach the display filled with handcrafted cakes and other pastries. Oh, too bad to not have Sayori here. The prices. Yep, my wallet would scream in horror. She's pretty rich, I think. Yeah, I think I would love to I don't know if there is a mod. Tell me more about Monica's family. Tell me in the comments down below if there is a mod more specific on Monica's family. Not just Monica, but her family and hobbies and, you know, other things. I know there is a good Yuri mod that I might play, but yeah, we're gonna finish this up first. We're gonna finish up summertime before moving on to others. Work outside school, yeah. Yeah, maybe we should go on dates here. Those cupcakes are so cute. Oh, she wants the animal faces. Animal faced cupcakes. Curious little cupcakes, aren't they?
Shut it.
While the two girls are examining all the delicacies in the display, Monica is ordering the 3 drinks. With honey, please. What are you getting for yourself, Monica? A black Americano with sugar. That's how I like it. Sweet and dark. Of course. Of course, I feel like there's a reference there somewhere. I decide to let it go. Yeah. What I get? What can I get? Espresso. Yeah, let's take an espresso. Paying together? I can feel Monica staring at me before looking over to confirm it. I don't know. We might have a gentleman among us. It's just a few cups of coffee, Elsa. So? Okay, Monica. You'll be my guest. Another time. Boom. She lets out an amused chuckle and lightly shoves my shoulder. You're so cheeky. But I will hold you to your word. I'm about to pay when the cashier reassures me that I can join the girls at the table. I assume I'll pay when we're done. Okay. Picking the seats, conversation. Natsuki is really happy. She's enthusiastic but not in a happy way. They barely glance over at us as we sit down in front of them.
And he just happens to have a legendary uncle. But wait, it gets better. They build a machine in a few weeks and it works in the first try.
What is the reference though?
Then he convinced the guy they live in a false reality.
In 10 minutes?
In 10 minutes.
Did I mention suspicion of disbelief at this moment? Or this point?
Guess what the genius does next? He asks the gang to help him with fixing the invention he created with the legendary uncle, despite the others not having any idea about all the technical stuff.
I guess you're talking about a movie or book that is like awkward. Yuri softly face palms. Is the protagonist likable at the very least?
If be likable, you mean, not cringy? Then no.
This is new, we haven't seen this before. I don't remember these lines.
Constantly stumbles on his words and treats normal high school girls as goddesses. Might as well be called Mr. Otaku.
What's an otaku, Natsuki?
Should I be considerate?
Natsuki looks at me with a supreme amount of snarkiness.
Nah. Now, don't get too carried away with the description. An otaku is basically a guy who's obsessed with anime culture to an unhealthy degree. They're usually total shut-ins and fantasize about one of the fictional girls being their wife.
Fantasizing about fictional characters? That's so embarrassing. Who would such a...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what a second-hand embarrassment looks like.
Is there a story you would recommend to us?
Well, there was this one that left me with mixed feelings. Wasn't bad, but I didn't get this thing between the two of the girls. One of them had some sort of illness, and the other girl often came over to take care of her. Then they started falling for each other. I was like, what the heck? What am I reading?
That sounds like a psychological trope I read about called the Florence Nightingale effect. I've never heard about it. I personally found such explorations of human mind fascinating.
Okay, brainstorming aside, why did it have to be two girls?
I don't see any wrong with that. No, it's not wrong. I find myself nodding along with Monica's statement.
Gross.
Come on, Natsuki. Let's save, by the way. We haven't saved in forever. Speaking of the deeper reaches of the human psyche, I believe a romantic novel meshed with psychological horror elements would be an exhilarating read. Oh, I guess you would love that, Yuri.
Yuri, cut it.
Don't worry, I believe I understand your disinterest in the topic. After all, you put your standards lower so you can't reach them. Oh my god. Wow, she's so savage.
What's that? You gotta come down from your ivy tower so the normal people can hear you too. At least my back is straight and not curved at the convenient spot.
What? My back is... Is she talking about the boobily boobs? Or just that Yuri is tall? Or has she something wrong with her back? Haven't really noticed that. That's a medical condition, you know that.
Not being all tall is a choice. Dummy.
Anyway, let me tell you about the fanfic that I personally really enjoyed. It's titled After Story. I haven't played that mod, but yes, it's a mod. It's a Doki Doki mod. Many of you have suggested I should play it because it's so good, apparently. And as I said, this mod really puts so many Easter eggs and references. The girls continue to chat about these stories they read online. And I'm just sitting here, contemplating about this new superhero game I'm going to play. Suddenly I hear someone snapping their fingers in front of my face.
Yo, this isn't a napping club.
What do you mean?
You spaced out like for 20 minutes.
That's pretty long. At least I wasn't overthinking social interactions with the girls around me like a character in some bad fanfic. Besides, planning strategies for my in-game champion has a use other than keeping my mind busy. Does our school have a napping club? That would be awesome.
No, dummy. Just talking about clubs in general.
So what I wanted to say is I do believe that Todd guy from the chess club has a bright future ahead of him. I know he's a little nerdy, but I can imagine him becoming the face of some sort of tech company one day. Todd. I don't really know any real-life leaders called Todd. We have Todd Howard from Bethesda Game Studios. I'm not sure.
I don't know about that. I'm just glad he's not like those douchebags in the sport club. Not to brag, but I saved this damsel from those brutes a couple of times.
Natsuki pokes Yuri on the shoulder. Oh, I guess the sports club guys are all over Yuri. They would have left after a while anyway.
You're welcome.
How about you, Salsa? Which club were you a member of in school? Oh no. Why I'm not a member of anything? Yeah, they're gonna know this. Well, I was debating with myself whether I should join the debate club. Such a bad joke, come on. I saw the animated expressions of the guys in the anime club. The animated expressions in the anime club. Shut it, Salsar. This is so awkward. Meanwhile, Sayori invited me to the literature club. I think we know how that turned out, yeah.
Yeah, it turned out great. Fun club with no creepy weirdos.
That's key. There weren't any clubs that interested you. Well, yeah,
I bet our club was about something else. You would have leapt at the chance to join.
wouldn't that mean the literature club would have never existed? What if the literature club never existed? Natsuki rolls her eyes in response to Yuri's attempt at changing the tone of the conversation. To be honest, I can't imagine myself in any other club. Thinking back to it, I have a feeling that I was supposed to join this club. Like, there was no alternative. No, because you were created in the game.
Yeah, same. It's pretty weird.
Perhaps our fate is already predetermined and we are merely acting it all out. Like it has been scripted for... Yeah. Monica's like, oh, girl, you don't even know. You don't even know. Yuri?
Cut it.
I'm sorry. I was rambling again, wasn't I? Anyway, it was fun hanging out with you today. It was fun to hang out together. Unfortunately, I have to go and tend to some other obligations I have for today. Seeing you all on Sunday. Monica starts heading towards the exit and Yuri looks at her watch. I believe I should go as... No, we're gonna hang, girl. I promised my mother that I would cook dinner today. Since I'm not certain if we had all the necessary ingredients, I believe it's better if I go home early.
That's really nice of you, Yuri. Man, how awesome it would be to come home and find freshly cooked dinner.
Oh, girl, Natsuki, I know. Maybe one of these days you could come over and we could cook something together. I mean, they are always bantering, Yuri and Natsuki, but I feel like they could be really close friends, you know? I feel like they could be really close friends. I'm sure you could teach me a couple of new culinary tricks.
You bet. Your memory better serve you well because I won't forget this invitation.
I'm looking forward to it. The girls are getting up from the seats and already realize this is time for me to speak up. Yuri, before you go, I wanted to ask you something. Her modest smile, oh my god, she's so adorable. Her modest smile stands in stark contrast to her eyes lighting up with curiosity. I'm all ears, Salsa. How about I walk you home today as well? I accept. I thought this would be a bit harder. Guess not. But yeah, we are being rejected. Great, let's go then. There we go, now we have our one-on-one time with Yuri. After leaving the cafe, we say goodbye to Natsuki and head towards the bus stop. So I remember you said you would be up for watching movies? I did. On Monday? Yeah, she did. I sometimes go to the movies theater, so I was thinking... Would you like to watch a movie we can... Absolutely. I'm sorry. Didn't intend to raise my voice. Her enthusiasm is clearly showing in her tone. I don't know if I have a reason to be concerned or this is how it looks like when a girl feels the same way about me. Could I have a request as well? Ask away. I'd prefer if we met up later during the day. I was planning to spend my day with my mother and now I see even more of a reason to talk with her. Oh, she's gonna talk with her mother about, you know, going out with the boy, what she should wear. Oh, that's adorable. I'm okay with that. Would you like anything else? No. Not yet, that is. She wants us. I'm pretty sure. She fiddles with her hair for a few minutes until our bus arrives. On our way to her part of town, we continued our chat on the bus. She shared her concerns about Sunday with me. I reassured her if anyone tries to make unwelcome advances on her, I'll be there to step in. Thank you, Salsa. You thanking me for walking her home? Don't mention it, it's not a big deal. No, I mean for continuing our little adventure. I was afraid we would part ways after last time you come home with me. Yet you continue to surprise me. Feel the same way. He's visibly blushing. I enjoyed the time we spent together today. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? I have to go. Until tomorrow. Yeah. I think she's afraid to show it. She likes me. Yep. Saturdays, okay. This will be a long video, sorry about that, but we're gonna go on a date with Yuri, and everything is awesome. Let's save. I guess we can just save there. I was staying up to 2 AM. Checked out the books that have accumulated in my room. Some were gifts from relatives, inherited them from parents, and insisted they would be kept in my room. I started reading a few over the years, but I usually got sidetracked with schoolwork and video games. That's usually how it goes. Yuri will give me enough motivation to get into reading. Oh, I'm pretty sure, man. Okay. Man, I'm looking forward to meet that girl. Here we go. We text each other and agree to meet later on in the day, which is fine by me since I can just relax until then. Several hours pass, but while I get some practice in my favorite online game with my top pick. Still got a few hours or so before I need to go to meet up with Yuri. But I stop and think about it. Would this be a date? Yeah, I mean, we are just watching a movie and spending some time. This is a date. God, I am going on it. Just realized. Am I even prepared to make a good first impression? Maybe it's a little late to think about that after the little adventure we had on Tuesday. Thinking about preparedness, I'll check out the theater selection. Yeah, we haven't even checked what kind of movie we're gonna see. Wow. Seems like they have a rather interesting selection. One is about a young woman who goes out to see a successful businessman, but things quickly escalate into a romance with elements of beat. Oh, she would love that. Yuri would love that movie. Oh man, no, don't look that up. I look up the term in my preferred search engine, not starting with a G. Oh. Google. Yeah, I said it. I double-checked the movie's description and realized that it's way different from what I would take a girl to see. Yeah, maybe it's a bit too much. Does seem like a movie women would go to, but I highly doubt Yuri would be interested in some. Oh, she would love that though. And another movie. Yes. Oh, Mommy's home. Mom opens my bedroom door and says hi from across the room. Hey, sweetheart, you ready for your meetup with your friend? I know how to put into words this thing between Yuri and I, so I just vaguely said that I'm going out with a friend. Yeah, I think that's better. We'll have a few things to do first. Alright, I'm going to go out for groceries. Have fun. Thanks, Mom. Will do. Okay. Ponder possibilities of what I would do before going to our meetup. Getting a snack sounds good. Luckily for me, Mom bought me a favorite again. Soft, succulent store-brand pancakers, perfectly poofy Paradise's pancakes. That name though. Munched down with a wide smile. Okay, nice. My phone alarm goes off. It's time to go. Here we go. I can't wait to see if she has another outfit. Bring it up. Yeah, let's pick an umbrella. I don't want to get rained out again. Yeah, we were that last time. I'm nearly at the bus stop when I see a bus arriving. Darn it! Set the alarm for when the bus arrives and forgot to account for how much time I need to get there. Sprinting. Dash across the road. We missed it. Oh, we almost got hit by a car. Just like the chicken in that stupid joke I told Yuri. Chicken that crossed the road. The driver looks like an older woman with purple. Driver looks like an older woman with a purple hair in maybe her 40s and a large box in her passenger seat. Looks so fairly shocked and a bit mad at me for running across the street. Why so specific of how her look? Is that Yuri's mother? I'm not sure. Maybe just a fun coincidence. After narrowly catching the bus, I sit down. Oh, we didn't miss the bus. We didn't miss the bus. Look out the window and think about what we're going to do today. Yeah, we have to decide for the movie. We discuss a book, yeah. Yeah, we haven't really picked up a book, really. Portrait of... I don't remember right now. Portrait of Markov? Markov? I don't remember. Yeah, Markov, I think. Something like that. Yeah. Oh, this is new. After getting off the bus, I realized that the theater is actually light on traffic for once. As I walk up, I see a strangely familiar car. Yuri and a purple-haired woman walked out of the car and hugged. I freaking knew it. It's her mother. I decide to blend into what little crowd is here until the woman is gone. As I walk towards the movie theater, Yuri's looking around. I walk up towards her. When I see her, I can't help but give her a wide smile. I can't decide if it's because I'm anxious about our first proper date, or if I'm just happy to see her. After having my favorite snack to seeing a lovely girl, everything unpleasant fades away and I'm once again in high spirits. Oh, that's adorable. That's nice. Nothing too fancy, you know. It's very casual. I like that. She gives me a soft smile back and a gentle wave. Hey Yuri, nice to see you again. Nice to see you too, Salsa. She looks towards the theater. So how was the drive here? I was reading this new book my mother recently gifted me. She shows me the cover, which is featuring 4 girls in winter clothing with a Christmas tree in the background. I think I know what you're thinking. Yes, it's a Christmas story. I admit it feels a little unusual to read a story with that subject in summer, despite the banal premise. The story is turning out to be a very enjoyable, albeit a short read. After finding out this was the author's first book, I was pleasantly surprised. Sounds like you had a comfy journey. Yeah, for the most part. I did have it quite scared. Yeah. My mother had to abruptly stop when a passerby ran across the street in front of us. I don't know what could drive someone to run out in the middle of the street, but it must have been pretty important. By the time I looked up, the person was gone. Change topic, man. Yeah, I see. Well, I'm glad you made it here. Yes. By the way, have you decided which movie you want to watch? She looks like she's going into deep thought. Well, I am still contemplating the choices for the moment. She glances over at a few of the movie posters. She looks at 2 in particular. She tries to focus more on one and seems like she's almost straining herself to do so. The one she's trying to focus on is called Only Phantom. From the description, it looks like it's about a ghost trying to protect his only son, and his mansion from being taken over by a group of mysterious men. There's probably some fights, yeah? I think Yuri might like the horror vibes, I think so. the one she really wants to see. It's a movie with BDSM. Maybe she didn't check the description underneath. Yeah. Yuri. She bites her lip. Wow. She starts to slightly bite her lower lip. She looks really cute when she does that. I reach out my arm to touch her shoulder. I catch myself and remember that she was startled the last time I did that, when she was deep in thought. Instead, I decide to step closer to her and point to the poster for Only Phantom. She stirs slightly, but it doesn't jump like she did before.
Oh yes. The Only Phantom looks intriguing.
It seems like to be genuine with this statement, although her face is slightly red. Alright, I'll grab the tickets then. She so wanted to see the other one. Yeah, maybe she did read the description. I think you're missing a lot, man. I think you're missing a lot. Gentle smile.
Shall we go in?
Sure. Start walking toward the corridor leading to the theaters themselves. This is all new backgrounds, like that. Sort of buttery popcorn. Nice. It was a long time since I was in the theater. Well, not that long when I think about it. I saw Avengers Endgame, but that's about it. Oh no, Pokemon. Pikachu. Detective Pikachu was the latest one I saw. Crepes and cotton candy, wow. Yuri, didn't you say you like crepes?
I do, but I don't feel like having it today.
Okay. The popcorn maybe? Yuri ponders for a moment as we hear the kernels popping in a rhythm inside of a machine.
Yes, preferably salty.
Hope I won't make her salty too. These jokes though. We go up in front and I pay for a large bucket of popcorn. I see a large group of women going to the other movie available. Oh, girls, damn. Geez, barely a guy among them. I probably made the right call by going with the ghost story. Yeah, I think so. In the end, I think that's the better to go for here. Walk to where our movie starts. Unfortunately, this particular theater looks empty.
Elsa, do you want to sit in the back?
Why do you want us to be in the back? I have a suspicion in the back of my mind that I want to be both confirmed and disproven at the same time.
In my experience, the speakers up front can be quite loud.
Get you. We can do that. I sit in the middle of the last row with Yuri to my right. As the camera moves, sorry about the cut there, but I had to free up some space on my computer. As the camera moves to the scene of a mansion, we hear a man narrate his story. He used to live in this house back when he was alive with his wife. He went on to building his fortune by starting up and expanding companies. At the end of their 30th anniversary, the man gave his wife a diamond-encrusted knife with a smooth platinum handle designed to be held comfortably in one hand. It's one of a kind, just like you, my dear. I look over to Yuri and I'm genuinely surprised at what I see. Her hands are held tightly to her chest, right over her heart. She cracks a brilliantly bright smile that glows in a more alluring way than any movie screen. My heart starts beating harder. My breathing accelerates. My head feels like a wave of fuzziness is washing over me. I see her leaning towards slightly, smoothly parting her hair from her eyes as she looks towards the flashing screen. She really likes it. I see her eyes filled with the scene, and on a closer look I notice that her eyes are as a brightly deep violet. They seem so bright and full of passion. They almost look like shining stars that I could make wishes upon. I slightly lean towards her and lay my right hand an inch away from her arm. As I get closer to her, the scent of jasmine oil and a subtle hint of mint intoxicates me. Her lips are supple and have a slight amount of pink lipstick. return my attention to the movie. As much as I'd love to stare at Yuri all day, I want to be able to talk about the movie after we watch it. The narrator continues to talk about the wife. She loved the diamond encrusted knife with her elegant design, and kept it in a pristine condition. However, his wife later passed away, leaving behind her beloved knife. Not long after that, a group of men arrived at the house, trying to have the lands donated to them. The man swiftly declined. Tension continued to rise between the father and the son, as they were unable to cope with the loss of the woman who was a wife and a mother to them respectively. One day the old man's son walked into his father's office. The father confronted him and the son lashed out, throwing the chair he was sitting on, and stormed out of the office, never returning to it. The old man went after him. With a pointed finger he spewed condemning words at his son as he left. Yuri raises her eyebrows, as if she's reminiscing about something. That same day, as he was driving home, he was gunned down after being near-ended on a back road. Oh, that's dark. Suspecting that it was the group of mysterious men, he worried for his sons despite their arguments and decided to protect him as best as he could. After a while, on a dark and frosty night, the men cut the power to the mansion and broke into the family home while wearing animal masks. While hiding from the invaders, the son is nearly found. As the music builds up, a door is nearly open, but the ghost distracts them. Yuri's feet are bouncing up and down slightly, her hands slightly shaking, with an arm around her shoulder. For a moment, she stops moving altogether. Her shoulder and back tense up. Did I try it too soon? Yuri looks up at me as her face turns slightly red. Then she takes a deep breath as she smiles. Her breathing slows down as I can feel her shoulders and back loosen up. She actually likes it. Yeah, it just takes some time, so take some time. Returns her gaze back towards the movie. Crack a wide smile and breathe a slight sigh of relief. I return to watching the movie. At this point, I'm surprised at how much I'd liked this movie so far. It might be just because I'm with Yuri, but the tension from trying to just stay alive is a lot more exciting than I thought it would be. Yuri looks like she's thoroughly enjoying it as well. He finds the knife in his parents' bedroom, grips it tightly and tries to escape his home. As he finally manages to make it to the top of the stairs leading to the front hallway, he trips down the stairs. He lays on the floor as he tries to hide the knife, as he is quickly surrounded by well-armed masked men. At this point, sirens are heard in the distance. They begin to surround him as one rushes up and points a gun to his head. The knife ends up falling out of his jacket and one of the criminals picks it up. I hold my breath. The police burst through the door. The ghost then has to make a decision. One is pointing a gun at his son, while another has already started to run away with a knife in his hand. Get the knife or save his son. Come on. At the end, he throws a vase at the one threatening his son, letting the criminal with a knife run away. I turn to Yuri and see how she is reacting. Her eyes begin to water. I don't know what to do. How are guys supposed to act? Just comfort her. Pull Yuri in and hold her closer. Most of the men get away, but the son is saved. The father, while no one can see him, drifts towards his son's ear. You aren't the only phantom left on Earth that's tied to what has happened. So live while you can, without holding on to something that only holds you back. He fades away as both the son and Yuri start crying. The criminals get away, but the police inform the young guy that they are tracking the criminals' vehicles. Wiping away the tears from his eyes, the son has a confident expression on his face as he listens. The movie cuts to a scene where he is talking with his girlfriend. reminiscing about his parents. The young guy recalls his father's encouraging words and the girl gives him an understanding smile. Then a kiss. Things get very steamy as a rather explicit scene comes on. Yuri begins to breathe incredibly heavily. I look over to her and see that she is biting down hard on her lower lip. Just a few moments later, she stands up. I need a minute. With this, she quickly walks out of the theater. The movie continues for a few minutes and I'm getting concerned for her. I decide to check up on her. It was getting too much for her. She's standing in the hallway, leaning towards the wall with her arms behind her back. Her face is scarlet as she slows her breathing down. We make eye contact. She looks down and holds her hands tightly together. Hey, are you right? Yuri licks her lips for a moment. Yeah, I was just startled at the conclusion of that scene in the end. Startled? Yeah, I get you. Took me by surprise as well. Yuri then glances at my lips for a split second, and then lets out a deep sigh. I'm having a hard time pinpointing her exact intentions, but we should probably continue on with our date. Yeah. Hey, wanna go around town? Yeah, I could use some fresh air right now. Yuri's arms loosen up as she stops, gripping her hands tightly together. At this point, it is turning to dusk outside with the lights of the city coming on and the stars begin to shine. Walk out of the theater. It's rather chilly outside. Yuri is starting to shiver. Walk closer to her and offer her my arm. She smiles as she locks her arms with mine. This helps warm us both somewhat as we walk around. The thought pops up in my head. Hey, Yuri? She looks up at me with a slight yet glowing smile. Yes, Elsa? I kinda like this movie, but I remember that you looked like you were in deep thought at certain parts of it. She looks away and lets out a quiet sigh. I was. The movie actually reminded me of various aspects of my personal life. She places her left hand on the side of her face as she goes on. When the father and son were arguing with each other, it reminded me of how Natsuki and I can get that sometimes. Yeah, that's true. Her eyes then widen with her cheeks heating up. Not that we would get violent towards each other, of course not. I get you. When you are close to someone, sometimes you get into bigger fights that affect you more than you first think. Yuri's eyes light up. I notice that we end up walking a bit closer together. Something similar happened to me when my mom and I got in fights from time to time. She looks at me with eyebrows slightly raised and her head tilted slightly to my right. May I ask what about? Try and think of a way of explaining it to her that I simply didn't like going out that much. She's more introverted. It's a bit risky, but I'd rather tell her the truth since I think she would understand where I'm coming from. During the school year, she told me that told me to join a club and try to be more social. After a while, she ended up becoming more persistent with wanting me to go out and talk to people. It didn't feel alright since I don't like being forced to do things. She told me at one point that I need to get out of the house more and do stuff away from home. Yuri holds on, me slightly tighter as another breeze passes by. She doesn't loosen her grip. I argue with her quite a bit, and things even ended up a bit patchy between us. After she said that she would let me buy as much perfectly puffed pancakes as I wanted when I went out for the trips, I caved in. She chuckles. My, you really do love pancakes, don't you? But I don't love just any pancakes. If it isn't quadruple piece pancakes, then it just isn't on the same level. Again, she chuckles softly. I understand the sentiment. I absolutely love oolong tea, and a lot of other teas simply aren't up to par in my opinion. Oh, but back to a point you had earlier. It can be rather difficult to interact with new people and leave your comfort zone. Yeah, I've been telling her just that. It started with small errands here and there, going around town first. One day I ended up seeing Sasoura and Monica not long ago after getting used to going out more. I believe I understand where you're coming from. I used to have a hard time interacting with others or even talking much when the topic wasn't literature. Things started to change once I joined the literature club. I think the literature club has really helped her, you know. Getting to know the others helped me learn how to communicate better. Although sometimes it feels like I took a step backwards when I had disagreements with Natsuki. She looks away. We ended up having some more difficult fights, but over time we learned to accept our differences. Whenever we had a big fight, Natsuki usually made cupcakes and I made tea to apologize to each other. Now I think she is one of my closest friends. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad you have such close friends. I also learned how to appreciate conversations that were not as in-depth and complex. I have a habit of overthinking things and used to only aim to deep conversations with people, which typically meant that I had none with my family. And now here I am, talking to you about something other than literature. She seems to have grown a fair bit to get to where she is now. Yeah, really. Don't mind deep conversations here and there, where I have a clue what's going on. We walk around town. We end up looking at different sites, from buildings to monuments. We pass by the bookstore and see that they have started putting up quotes about some of the books. One of them has a very ominous quote that I can't wrap my head around. Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night I can feel my leg. That is from Metal Gear Solid 5, if I get it right now. Yeah. Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Yeah. And my heart. Yeah. The body I've lost. Yep. Sounds sad. This reminds me. So, do you only read horror novels? I tend to read those the most, but I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantages of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? She suddenly goes silent, as if something just occurred to her. Salsa, do you know what a déjà vu is? Oh, we know. Isn't it when you feel like you did something that never actually happened? Yes. That feeling washed over me just now. Same. Deja vus. Higher on the street? Yeah, we have been here before maybe. Continue our walk and eventually have our conversation loop back to the movie. What was your favorite part of the movie? This will be a long video, sorry about that. I didn't think this part would be so long, but I want to continue to Sunday, It was probably when the Phantom saved his son from the criminals. I recall how she started to cry when the scene happened. Yeah, it was an effective scene, if you say so. I apologize for getting emotional. It's just that the movie reminds me of a poem I wrote quite a while ago. After seeing the ghost whisper to his son, I think I found an answer to a question that I had for a long time. What is the question, if I may ask? Well, the past has a great significance in shaping us into who we are, yet it can also shackle us. We lean more into each other. I have had feelings of, attachment to the past. I have some feelings of comfort when reflecting upon memories and what filled me with joy. However, I feel like a ghost who couldn't let go of the past, wishing to spend forever reminiscing. The memories, though, would only leave me feeling empty when I realized that they are forever gone. So I wondered, what can I do to stop feeling the void in my heart? Yuri's face turned beet red as her voice quivered for a moment. Then I finally realized. She looks up at me. Her face turns scarlet. Our story is important and should not be forgotten. However, Yuri parts her hair and my heart is racing. We should focus on making memories. Thought pops up in my head. And face the future with those who we hold dear. Take her hand in mine. She seems to be taken aback. Smiles, then smiles at me softly. I flicker back. At this point the night is growing fairly cold. I would recommend we go inside somewhere to grab a bite to eat, but my wallet is as empty as Sayori's stomach normally is. Sorry for the cut again, but I have so little space on my computer, so I need to fix it before I can continue recording. Anyhow, would you like to wait for the bus here? Yuri looks like she is about to suggest something else, but the wind starts to pick up more and more and storm clouds are forming. Yes, that is probably a good idea. We sit here enjoying each other's company. Hey Salsa. She sits up more and looks at me from the side. Yes, Yuri? Perhaps this is just me, but I enjoy just walking around even if we aren't doing anything in particular. She lets out her breath slowly. I think that when you are doing anything that doesn't require much focus, it allows for people to connect with each other other than just just as well as when we do something extraordinary. It is nice when you can focus on others more than the activity itself. I think so too. Many people just go and do things together and then it's just about the thing you do. You don't really connect to them, really connect to them. I agree. Although it's nice when we can do things together to talk about later. I pause to think of something. But it can be a nice mix to mix it up here and there. The bus ends up arriving after a few minutes. This will be a super long video, wow. We proceed to get onto the empty bus as Yuri and I sit next to each other near the back. It starts drizzling out somewhat, but nothing too intense. I hold her hand again as we look out of the window, watching the rainfall. As she looks outside, she looks up towards the sky. When I see this kind of weather, sometimes I get curious. Is ours the only planet that has people that can experience this? What do you mean? Well, I just sometimes wonder if we are the only intelligent beings in the universe. The chance of there being life somewhere in the vast openness of space makes it seem that there must be at least a chance of it. In some of the stories I read, the main characters go out to explore the universe. They meet a variety of intelligent beings and use perspectives that they learn from. For this intelligent life form, it may be a foreign concept and perhaps a terrifying experience to see water falling from above. Look, I appreciate you calling me intelligent, but I'm not afraid of taking a shower, okay? She looks away and I assume she rolls her eyes at my attempt at humor. Our jokes in this game is so bad. Who'll stop you? But yeah, I guess if you've never seen or heard of it, it can be pretty shocking. She then looks at me, her brows slightly raised. Sometimes I feel like I'm an alien myself. This catches me by surprise. What do you mean by that? Although as I said, before it has improved since I joined the literature club, sometimes I still feel that I can have trouble connecting with people. Even when I try and understand myself, some of my feelings are alien to me. She begins to turn towards me more. She squeezes my hand gently. I just don't know if I can truly connect with people anymore. Years ago, I used to be made fun of for being different. People would make comments about me talking to others since I've always been somewhat shy. When people stopped trying to talk to me and instead tried to provoke me in order to have me to react, I closed myself off more and more. It ended up in a loop of sorts. Yes, unfortunately. I'm still having trouble understanding myself, though, and these feelings. At this point, the wind is picking up, and it's starting to rain harder as we approach Yuri's stop. Well, this is my stop. It has been wonderful talking to you today, Salsa. As she starts getting out to leave, I stop her momentarily. Yes, it's storming out there. I pull out my umbrella. You want me to walk you home? Plus, I want to try to make it better understand what she means. Don't want to end the conversation with her being left to feel the way she does. Why, thank you. It would be appreciated since I forgot my umbrella at home. We get off the bus as we walk towards Yuri's house, both of us underneath my umbrella. Hey Yuri. We make eye contact. Yes? Taking a deep breath, I stop for a moment. You don't have to feel alone. I know that I haven't gone through everything you have, but you aren't alone anymore. If you ever want to talk to someone, even if I don't always get what you mean, I'll be there for you. Her eyebrows go up slightly and she pauses for a moment. She smiles at me while her cheeks turn rosy. Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me. She takes a deep breath. You know, this reminds me of one of my favorite books. How a young princess is looked up in a tower, dreaming of the world outside of a castle, but is always too shy to try and break free. She looks up at the stars and wants to leave, but is afraid of what waits outside of her walls. Then one day an unlikely prince ends up at her window one day. At first she is nervous as she never interacted with many people, let alone someone who was so unfamiliar to her. Over time though, thoughts started to swirl her head. Some nights were beyond restless, with dreams about the prince when he was away. One day the prince asked her to accompany him outside of the walls for an adventure. She was nervous but decided to leave the safety of the walls since she felt that she could trust him. Gradually she ended up seeing the prince in more and more detail as his better points were found over time. She drew closer and closer to him as time went on. After a small adventure she ended up being taken back to her castle. Yet she felt like she didn't want the adventure to end. Her eyes began to look into mine and away, back to mine again and again in between each line. The princess realized that she had feelings that were foreign to her. They began to almost overwhelm her. Her breathing speeds up slightly. When the prince held her close, she never wanted him to let him go. She realized that even if the world could be a terrifying place, so long as she was with him, she could still walk outside of her walls. Taking her hand in mine, my body starts getting warmer. She wanted to be with him more and more and began to have a ravenous beast inside of her, pushing her to completely unfamiliar territory, but with fear holding her back. The young woman wished that the prince would see her the way that she saw him. And she finally realized that regardless of everything else, having found someone like him was one of the best things to happen to her. The feelings of terror rise as she fears what would happen should the prince never return to her side, and she ends up alone with her thoughts once again. She's still talking about herself. At this point, we are shoulder to shoulder, almost leaning on each other. I don't entirely get what she means, but I feel that it's important. Yuri, I look her straight in her eyes as we stand only inches apart under my umbrella. Stories are great and all, but remember to live yours as well. We can learn about many inspiring people with feelings we relate to, by remembering that even the characters of the story, or the stories, or whatever end, we still have ours to write. It's the same thing for songs or movies or literature or whatever you would have you. I brush her hair from her face as she blushes bright red while her eyes light up. Her ends up looking at me directly again and we end up staring into each other's eyes. I feel my heart thumping up on my chest as I feel the warmth of Yuri's face. This just feels right. Our heads slowly move closer to each other, together, until we are just inches away from each other.
Yuri, it's cold outside. Come in.
We turn around and see the purple-haired woman standing with the door open. Oh, yes, Mom. Yuri's face is completely flushed.
Oh, this is your boyfriend?
Mom! Yuri walks into her house quickly with her head down.
You seem familiar. Have I seen you before?
I pull my umbrella down more. I don't think so, ma'am. I wave towards Yuri. Bye, Yuri. Today's was fun. See you tomorrow. Farewell, Salsa. She waves at me as I walk off before her mom can recognize me. I end up going back to the bus stop and catching the next bus. My head is filled with the day's events. Yuri and I grew much closer and I feel like I'm finally starting to understand her more. It seems like she's always been lonely and just wanted to be close to someone. Although I'm not sure what she meant by some things, but like the story about the prince. I feel like that was a metaphor for something else, for her, pretty much, her life. But then again, I could just be overthinking things. Either way, that doesn't change the fact that I want to spend more time with her. The bus ends up at my stop and I get off. I return home and set my umbrella down at the main hallway to dry off. I'm greeted by my mom in the living room. Hey Salsa, I didn't expect to see you again back so soon. I give her a quizzical glance and say it isn't exactly super late, but still a fair bit longer than I was expecting. How did your date go? Never told her it was a date, but I guess she figured it out. I didn't know it was a date. She giggles. While cleaning your room, then I saw you left your computer on with a particular film on. Oh, the BDSM film. Oh, that would be awkward. Yeah, yes. Oh. Sunday. There we go. There we go. We're gonna stop the video there. Hope you enjoyed. Next part will be the last part of the Yuri route. Hope you enjoyed, even if this video was much longer than I thought. I think this was the most passionate and loving date so far in this whole game, really. I think this was so lovely. Tell me in the comments down below what you think about it so far, and never ever forget to stay awesome. Toodeloo!